Okay, so can you please tell me about yourself and about your recent project?
Yeah, I have around 4 years of experience in Java, Spring Boot, microservices, and all. And most recently, I have worked on the life insurance domain project for the very well-known banking client in the QC region. And this project basically involves the development and maintenance of the backend services using Spring Boot. So in that, I was responsible for building RESTful APIs and integrating third-party services. And also, I used to write many complex business logics. So in that project, mostly I have worked on the enhancement of the policy management system and handling customer onboarding workflows, and also implementing secure communication between the services using auth and JWT. So I have collaborated with QA and DevOps teams to ensure the uh, smooth development and deployment of the testing things. Then apart from the development, I also involve in the identifying and fixing the production bugs. So whatever has been deployed till now, and performance tuning and analyzing logs, and for that working on the change request. Yeah, and apart from that, I participate in code reviews also of the other team members, and yeah. So this is what is all about myself and about my projects.
Okay, so for logging, what tools do you use?
Yeah, for logging, we are using centralized logging system, and we are using ELK stack, so Elasticsearch, Logstash, and Kibana. So for the production environments, we are using this. So basically, logs are pushed to the Logstash via file bit, and it is indexed in Elasticsearch and visualized using the Kibana. So using Kibana, we can see the all real-time monitoring and debugging.
For local logging, do you use any library?
Yeah, for that we use Self4j, SLF4j with logback. So that we use as a logging framework in our Spring Boot application. So basically, SLF4j provides a simple abstraction for the various logging frameworks, and logback is the default implementation that integrates with that in Spring Boot. So yeah, we are using that.
Okay, so how do you set the log levels? And what are the log levels, you know?
Yeah, log levels are like info, debug, error, and warn is there, and we normally we can set that in application.properties or YAML file. So suppose we have to make it info level, so we can just say logging level equal to info, you can say, and similarly we can say like whatever we want the logging level. And apart from that, we can also use logback Spring XML also if we need more kind of tweaks if we want to do in the logging, then we can use that also. So yeah, that is how we are doing.
Okay, okay. Okay, so let's suppose we want to configure different log levels for different environments. Okay, so how can you do that?
So in different environments, let's say we have a dev or testing or a QA production and all is there. So we can use a Spring profiles for that. So in using Spring profiles, like we can simply instead of application dot properties, we can say application dev dot properties, application dot properties, we can say, and in each specific properties file, we can mention the log label. Okay. And also like whatever applicable properties will be there, that will be common. Whatever the properties will be defining in that, that will be common for the all the environments. And the environment specific properties we set to the those specific properties files. Yeah.
Okay, so what Java version currently you are using?
Yeah, we are using Java 8, and also in one another project we are using Java 16 as well.
Okay, so what are the features you know between those two?
Yeah, in Java 8 we have like Lambda expression, functional interfaces, stream API is there, optional class is there, then new date time API is there. So all these are there. And in Java 16 we have like records, pattern matching, for instance of, and then sealed classes. Yeah, so that's what I am able to recall right now.
Okay, can you tell me why was Stream API was introduced?
Yeah, Stream API was introduced in Java 8 to bring functional programming. So earlier, like other programming languages like Python and all had the capabilities of functional programming, but Java did not had. So that was the reason why it was brought. And basically, after bringing that, it provided a more declarative, readable, and concise way of processing collections. So instead of using traditional for or while loops, we can now perform like various terminal operations and intermediate operations we can provide. So we have like filtering, mapping, and all is there, and the for each is there. So all that we can apply. Collectors are there. So those things are there, and also it also enables the lazy evaluation. So that means that intermediate operations are only executed when the terminal operations is invoked. Okay, so this basically optimizes the performance a lot. And we also had a parallel stream. So the stream API I mean makes it easier so to process the data using the parallel stream. So like because of that we can do the calculations fast, or streaming we can do the faster. And because that basically uses the multi-core CPU with minimal effort, or systems CPU it can use. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so how do you use functional interface in Java 8?
Yeah, in Java 8, functional interface is used to represent the functions that takes an input of type T and the returns the result type of R. So it basically commonly uses the pass behavior as a parameter. So we can basically use exact function, and in streams we can use the function with map. So for example, we can just say suppose any arrays.add list, and there we have the string of a list of string is there, and then in that list.stream.map we can apply. So that is the basically functional interface. That is how we use it.
Okay, can you tell me how do you convert a lowercase string to uppercase string using Java 8 Stream API?
Yeah, we can use let's say we have a string input equal to, let's say any string is there, hello or something is there, and if we want to convert to uppercase, so we can just like input dot chars we can do. So it will like take out the each character from that, and then we can say dot map to object, and then we can just we can convert it to character, and then we can say map, and then the character class, and then we can just say method referencing type of, and to uppercase. So it will just convert that each character to uppercase, and then again we have to convert that char to string. So we can say again dot map and the string value of, we can say, and then we can just collect it. So and we can join each string, like collectors dot joining. So that is how we can convert it.
Okay. So what is the difference between map and flat map?
Yeah, so map and flat map. So map basically that is used for one-to-one mapping, and flat map is used for one to many mapping. Okay, and if we have to use map, then whatever the list is there, we can just say list stream dot map, and then we can proceed. And but in case of flat map, we can just say like stream dot flat map. So basically, whenever we have the requirement of uh, like dealing with the nested collections, like we have list of list, so in that case we use flat map. But suppose if we have a straightforward like list is there, in that case we can go for the map. So basically map transforms each element in the stream into another object, and flat map, like each element in the like each element is transformed into a stream, and flat map flattens the resulting stream into single stream, so that like that list of list thing is converted to the single stream. So yeah, so that's the difference between these two.
Okay, so can you tell me what is inheritance in Java?
Yeah, inheritance in Java is an object oriented programming concept. So it allows a class to acquire the properties and behaviors of another class, like parent class. So basically, the child class can acquire the properties and behavior of the parent class. So suppose let's say we have a class animal, and it has the method let's say eat. Okay, and again let's say we have a class a dog that extends animal basically, and so if now if we are going to uh, create the object of dog, and if we uh, I mean just if we call eat, that object dot eat, so it will basically call the method of animal, the parent class, because it has already acquired the child class has already acquired the properties of the parent class. So yeah, so that's what is the inheritance.
Okay, do you know types of inheritance?
Types of inheritance, yeah, multi-level inheritance is there, and
Okay, tell me the difference between, so we can basically categorize it into four parts: single inheritance, multi level, hierarchical, and multiple inheritance. So, can you explain me all these?
yeah, single inheritance is like one class inherits from the another, as I told in my previous example, right? So we have animal dog, so I mean just the child is trying to get the properties of the parent, so that is what the single inheritance. Multi-level means like we have the like A extends B, B extends C, like that we have a whole hierarchy is there. So multi-level basically means a class inherits from the a class, and that itself inherits from the another class. So that's what is the multi-level. Hierarchical means multiple classes inherit from the single parent class. So that is what is the hierarchical. And then the last one, multiple inheritance, right? So multiple inheritance actually does not support in Java. So Java does not support multiple inheritance with classes. So basically uh, to avoid the ambiguity, so it does not support, but it can be achieved using the interfaces, because in interfaces we have just declaration of the methods. So we can simply have the two interfaces, and whatever the child I mean let's say another class is there, and that is implementing both of the interfaces. So since we have to declare here, so there will be no ambiguity. But if the same thing is going to happen with the classes, so since in the class we have to define also the method, so we don't know which one will be the invoked, I mean when we create the object of the child class. So yeah, so that's what is the difference between all this.
Okay, can you tell me why we cannot override a static method in Java?
Yeah, in Java, static method cannot be overridden because they belong to the class itself. So wherever it is static, so that is the part of the class. So let's say we have a class parent, and we have a static method in that, and we have a child, and that is also having the that extends the parent. Okay, so and there also we have a static void display. Like let's say that that same static method is there. So although it looks like that it is overriding, but it is not. It is basically called method hiding. So basically static methods are class level methods and are resolved at the compile time. So they are not resolved at the runtime. Okay. So yeah, so therefore whenever we declare a static method in a subclass with a same signature as in superclass, so it is not overriding. It is method hiding actually. So yeah.
Okay, what is class path in Java?
Yeah, in Java, class path is a parameter that JVM and Java compiler uses to locate. So, uses to locate JVM and Java compiler used to locate compiled .class files or user-defined packages or any other third-party libraries. So, the class path basically tells the JVM where to look for user-defined classes and packages. So yeah, the class path is basically we can say the search path that is used by the JVM and compiler to locate the all required classes, definition and libraries. So yeah,
And suppose if the class is not found, then what kind of uh, error you get?
yeah, we can get class not found exception or no class definition found error.
Okay, do you know what is dynamic method dispatch in Java?
Yeah, so dynamic method dispatch is a mechanism in Java that implements runtime polymorphism basically. So it allows the JVM to decide which version of an overridden method to call at runtime. Okay, so based on the actual object type, it decides that, and not the based on the reference type. So for example, let's say we have the again animal class is there, and we have dog that extends animal. Okay, now let's say we have a common method. Let's say sound is the method is there between the child and parent class both. Now let's say whenever we say animal A equal to new dog, so here dog is the child class. So the reference of type animal, so and we have object of type dog. So whenever we say the that a dot sound, so it will output the child class method whatever we have. So yeah, that's what dynamic method dispatch. So that is how the Java supports runtime polymorphism. So that allows the overridden methods to be executed based on the actual object instance, not like based on the reference type only. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, can you tell me if the using of volatile keyword can make the class as thread safe?
Just using that, no. Using volatile alone does not make the class as thread safe. So basically, the volatile keyword in Java ensures the visibility of the changes to variables across the thread. So when a variable is declared as volatile, any thread that reads it will always see the most recently written value by any other thread. However, if like it does not guarantee the atomicity or prevent like race condition when multiple threads perform the compound operations like I plus plus or check the
Okay,
next
okay.
logic.
Okay, can you please tell me about string buffer and string builder?
Yeah, string buffer and string builder both are mutable. String buffer basically is thread safe, and string builder is not thread safe. And basically, string buffer is much suitable in the multi-thread applications, and string builder is suitable in the single thread application. So yeah, so this is the difference between these two. And also this string builder is will be faster because it is not thread safe, so it will be faster. and a string builder will be slower because it is thread safe, and thread safe means it is synchronized, so it will be slower.
Okay, why string is immutable?
Yeah, string is immutable means once a string object is created, so it cannot be changed. So any modification we are trying to make, so ultimately it will generate a new string. So that's what is the meaning of the immutability, and it is immutable because of various reasons. For for example, for security, for caching, for thread safety. So these are the reasons. So for example, in case of security, so string is very much used for the sensitive operations like path, network connections, class loading, and all. So so if it is mutable, so that basically ensures that the malicious code or anything bugs cannot enter to a string reference and cause the unexpected behavior. So if that is going to happen, it will just simply generate the new string. It won't cause the problem of the existing string. Okay, and uh, Java also maintains a string pool to save memory. So since string are immutable, so they can be safely shared and reused from the pool without side effects. Okay, and for immutable objects are uh, inherently thread safe. So multiple thread can safely read the same string without synchronization. So yeah, so these are the reasons why it is thread. Immutable.
Okay, what is the difference between hash map and hash set?
Yeah, hash map basically that stores the data in key value pairs, and hash set basically stores only unique elements. So there is no key value pair like of a structure is there in the hash set. So in the internal implementation, hash map uses hash table to store key and values objects, and in hash set that internally uses the hash map. So where the elements are stored as keys and the values are constant. So yeah, so that's the difference between these two.
Okay, how about nulls?
Yeah, in hash map that allows one null key and it can have multiple null values. And hash set it allows one null element.
Okay, can you tell me why hash map allows one null key and hash set allows one null element?
Yeah, hash map basically if the key is null, then hash map handles it explicitly. It does not call hash code or null key. Instead, it stores it in a specific bucket, like in the zeros bucket. So that is fine. But there should be only one null key because we have the rule like it should must be unique, right? So key must be unique. So that is why there is only one null key here. And in hash set, it allows one null element because internally hash set uses hash map. So when we do set dot add of a, so basically it goes internally like in the map, and there it put a and it just says like it is present or not present. So when we do like set dot add of null, so basically it just says null is present. So this works exactly like hash maps like null behavior. So yeah, so that is why hash set allows one null element.
Okay, what is the difference between fail fast and fail safe iterators in Java?
Yeah, fail fast basically that immediately throws concurrent modification exception. So if the collection is modified, so that's what is the fail fast iterator. And in fail safe, like it does not throw this concurrent modification. Instead, it just creates the copy of the existing collection. Like for example, we have array list. So if we are trying to iterate that, and while iterating, if we are trying to modify that, we will receive concurrent modification exception. So that is fail fast. But we also have copy on write array list. So if we are using that, So in and when we are trying to iterate it, so it basically creates the copy of it. And uh, then if we are modifying anything, it won't throw any concurrent modification exception. So that's what is the fail fast and fail safe. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Okay, so let's come to Spring Boot. So, what is enable auto configuration in Spring Boot?
Yeah, enable auto configuration is a core annotation in Spring Boot, and that basically is used to automatically configure the application based on the dependencies present in the class path. So Spring Boot basically guesses the configuration beans, like we have data source, entry manager, and all. So whatever it is in the class path, any bean is there, any add configuration is there, or any properties file defined in the application properties or YAML file. So all those are like basically monitored, and Spring Boot basically tries to create bean out of that, so that whenever it is required, those objects can be used. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Okay, let's say we are using this enable auto configuration, right? And we are trying to use it without configuration. We have add that of configuration, right? So without that, we are trying to use it. What will happen?
Yeah, if we use enable auto configuration without configuration annotation, then the auto configuration logic may not work properly, because configuration marks the class as source of bean definition. Okay, and without that, Spring may not that treat that class as a configuration class, and the auto configured bean might not be registered in the application context. So some parts of the application may fail, and because this object itself is not there in the container of the Spring Boot. Okay, so yeah, so sometimes we might face this issue of not having that object. Yeah.
Can we exclude auto configuration in Spring Boot?
Yeah, we can exclude it. So uh, we have the run class, right? And at the rate of Spring Boot application, right? That annotation is there. So there we can just simply put exclude, and there we can just give the whatever the data source configuration is there, that class name we can give there. So that way we can exclude it.
Any other way is there?
Other way, in the properties file, I think. Yeah, in the properties file also we can give a Spring auto configure exclude, and there we can mention whatever the class is there, that we can mention.
Okay, what is the difference between add component, add service, and add repository?
Yeah, all these are like so generic stereotype for a Spring managed component. So add component can be used when no clear role like service, repository, or controller, we don't know like it fits into which one. So we can use add component directly. And add service is basically it is a specialized version of add component. So that indicates that the class contains the business logic, and like it is like we have clear separation of concerns, like, so that is why add service we use. And then add repository also is like a specialization of add component. So that indicates that the class is a part of the persistent layer, and that enables automatic exception translation also. So that is the use of add repository. So yeah.
Okay. Okay, what if we interchange the add repository and add service?
Yeah, if we interchange, still it will work, but that is not the good practice. So as I told, like whenever suppose in the DOA class we receive any kind of exception, right, data access exception or something like that, so that we cannot capture. So in case of DOA layer, so there that is why we need at the rate of repository. Yeah, so yeah, usually we should not do that. However, it won't throw any error. Yeah.
Well, can you tell me how can we change the logging level at runtime?
Yeah, that we can do using actuator. So we can enable loggers endpoint. So in the application properties or YAML file, so we can use the actuator loggers endpoint, and it will basically log the all the loggers and their labels, and we can get like we can also say get we have get option is also there, and loggers, and then again the logger name we can give to get the uh, uh, current level of a specific logger. Yeah, so that is how we can do it. Yeah.
Okay, do you know what is CSRF protection in Spring Security?
Yes, that is CSRF is cross-site request forgery. So it's a type of security that attack where a malicious website tries to user browser into performing unintended action on a different site where the user is authenticated. So, for example, if we are logged in into the bank account, and a CSRF attack might manipulate the browser into transferring money without our consent. So that's what is the CSRF security. So basically, Spring Security provides built-in CSRF protection to prevent that kind of attacks. So yeah, so as soon as we include the dependency of Spring Security, so it automatically enabled by the web application in Spring Boot. Yeah.
So, is it safe to disable CSRF in stateless REST APIs?
In stateless REST APIs, yes, we can do that because REST APIs typically don't use cookies or sessions. So CSRF is not required there. Yeah.
Okay, what is security context holder?
Uh, that basically holds, I think, authentication and security context information for the current thread, I think. Yeah.
Okay, why do we use Maven?
Yeah, Maven is the build dependency management tool. So that is used for project management, dependency handling, and build life cycle. So basically, using this, we don't have to go and download the jars manually. We have to just give the dependency; it will automatically download the jars for the project. And also, the once the project is done, we want to build it, so we can build the jar or var whatever files we want. We can do that. So those kind of things we can do. Yeah.
Okay, so in microservices, can you tell me what is microservices architecture?
Yeah, microservices is an architectural style where an application is broken down into smaller and independent services, and that are basically loosely coupled, and that can be developed or deployed or scaled independently. So like each service focuses on a specific business functionality, so or small modules will be there, and each services communicates with other services using some protocols. So it can be either through the HTTP REST or messaging queues and all, or fin client. So uh, this basically completely different from the multi architecture, so where everything is bundled into a single deployment unit, but here everything will be into the different parts of modules, and each developer can be assigned to that different module, and that's making it very much faster, the development.
So, how do you handle data consistency in a distributed microservices architecture?
Since each microservice usually has its own database and all, so we cannot use like traditional transaction across all services. So normally we rely on the a common pattern we use is the saga pattern. Basically it is of two types, either orchestration or choreography. So to manage the business transaction across all the services. So also we can use events to notify like other services of state changes, like so that they can update their own data accordingly.
Okay. So, what tools do you use for service discovery in microservices?
We are using tools like Eureka from Netflix. So we are using that, but most recently we have moved towards the Kubernetes built-in DNS-based service discovery. So for external clients, we use API gateways like Spring Cloud and all. So that also help with routing and load balancing and security. So yeah, so that we are using.
So, for testing part, how do you test the microservices?
Yeah, for testing, we do unit testing for individual services. We do the contract testing using the pact to ensure integration consistency, and into in testing using Postman or automation frameworks. So for performance, we are using JMeter. So normally for that, testers do that, but for we are using Postman only. And since mocking is important, especially for dependencies, so we also have the tools like wire mock to simulate the other services. So yeah, so we are using these tools for the testing.
Okay, so coming to SQL, can you tell me what is the difference between where and having?
Yeah, sure. So where is used to filter rows before any grouping happens. So basically it applies to individual rows, and having is used after grouping, like when we use group by, and it filters the groups. So if I want to filter, suppose a cell records with amount greater than 1000, in that case I can use where. But if a group by customer and want only those with total sales greater than 1000, then I would use having.
Hmm. Okay, do you know the difference between rank, dense rank, row number? Have you used it?
Yeah, they are all window functions used to assign ranking to rows, but they have different roles. So row number basically gives a unique number to each row, even if the values are the same. And then rank is a function that skips ranks if there is a tie. So if two rows are suppose rank 1, then next will be 3. Yeah, so that is what is rank. And then dense rank is it does not skip. So if two rows are rank 1, the next will be 2. So yeah, so that is the difference.
Can you tell me what is subquery and can it return multiple rows?
Yeah, subquery is a query inside another query. So that is subquery. So basically it can be used in select, where, or like from clause. So if it's in a context that expects a single value, like double equal to is there, sorry, equal to is there, then it should return just one row. But if with operations like in is there, then it can return multiple rows. Yeah, so for example, select a star from whatever ABC table, where like ID in, then we can give multiple IDs, so it will return multiple rows. So yeah,
Okay, so can you tell me the difference between primary key and unique key?
primary key basically it uniquely identifies each rows, and it does not allow null. Okay, so that is the main difference. And there can only be one primary key in a table, any specific table, and a unique key also ensures uniqueness, but it can allow one null. Okay, so that's what is, but actually that also varies based on the DB, and we can have multiple unique keys on a table also.